Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 3 versus 3 on Ghost City 2. Playing on Team 1 as the Black Templar, we've got Hierarch. We've got Mace Wildew playing as the Dark Angels. And we've got HMD playing as the Thousand Suns. Whereas on Team 2 we have got Roman 228 playing as the Dark Eldar. We've got Kaboom Ver playing as the Death Court of Krieg. And rounding off all teams, we've got Lordrian 124 playing as the Demon Hunters. So history's been made, boys and girls. This is the first proper cast of a Dawn of War Unification game on the Definitive Edition. Very exciting stuff, and might I say, what a fantastic map. I think, dare I say, it's probably my favourite multiplayer map on the Gudge, because it's just bloody gorgeous. Look at it. You've got these little domes of activity. You've got this altar of a relic over here. You've got this, I don't know, this shrine of some description. Lots of broken down buildings, ready to really give it some welly. And obviously kind of like, what was it? Verdun? Or, no, it wasn't Verdun. That time in World War II where the British had to sit on a beach and get picked off while the Germans moved in. Not saying that these guys are in any relation to Germany, but I suppose the Black Templar are quite similar. Then again, Death Court of Krieg. I don't really know what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I'm quite excited and raring to go with these factions and these players. It's very, very kind that one of the players here did send the game in. And this channel basically runs on games being sent in. At the moment, I will be playing some online. Don't know whether I'll do it on my Discord or quietly, depending on when I've got all my games done. After all, I don't want to wake up Mrs. Landshark when she's in bed. Doesn't need to hear me screaming and hollering up late tonight. But either way, I'll get some of those games done. But realistically, if you've got any spare games going, feel free to send them into the Discord. Links in the description below. But there we go. Right, so we've got some interesting openers. We've got the Screamers of Zinch from HMD, so that's a demonic opening from him. Plenty of room to maneuver with that jumping shenanigan of a unit. Whereas I assume the Dark Eldar, yes, you're going to go for Dark Foundry. So I imagine some Reaver jet bikes will be able to jump over things like the Screamers, but they are quite swift and nimble. And with the vehicle pathing being fixed, I mean, I suppose this will be a good map to see if the vehicle pathing will be fixed, because the Dark Eldar vehicles traditionally were the worst for pathing. Oh, this map being all narrow corridors and right-angle turns must be truly a test. Demon Hunters going up against demons. Very brave are these demons, choosing to go for themselves, but there we are. You see a Tower of Loathing and try and keep it down for now. Oh, the best at building bashing are these Screamers, but good lord, they'll give it a go. Got some Scout Marines for Mace Wildew, a cracking name I do have to say. And the Scout Marines for the Dark Angels are quite substantial. We go for a couple of combat shotguns to knock these guys on their backsides. I should do that pretty nicely and pretty well. Screamers continuing their reign of terror as the Mandrakes don't really want to engage them in close combat. Screamers will win all day long against them. But yeah, the Mandrakes are just having a bit of a rubbish time all the way around. Do manage to get one scout, killing him on this little lotus flower of some description, but unable to really contend all that much. Thankfully, the Reaver jet bike comes screaming on forward, sort those lads out. Off in the distance, got some regular old soldiers from Kaboom Ver, looking to consolidate their holdings on this mighty relic. Gotta be careful with your Death Court. If the morale breaks, they point blank refuse to leave the battle, as any good son of the Emperor would. Mandrake's finally getting their hold on this. Capture the relic, but the Reaver jet bike is having none of it. They don't want the Sons of the Emperor sullying their potential booty. He's got a Lord Command Squad going for the Veteran Bodyguard melee, just so they can contend these Screamers, I imagine. Yeah, look at that. Bobbing and weaving. Nothing slowing these guys down. Absolutely beautiful stuff. I wonder how much of a power spike that is going to be for them. Just naturally because the game plays a bit better. And just the fact that we've got all these different factions going, and I'm able to play it at relatively decent graphics, with shadows and stuff. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, we're the Crusaders of the Black Templar. Much like the Death Court of Krieg, Occasionally they get a little bit cross and a little bit mad, and point blank refuse to leave the field of battle. Got a couple of fire support squads in there. Always extremely useful just to have those guys in the background, just in case you've got some enemies that are running away and refuse to engage in close combat. Like the cowards that they are. Death Corps going to send the Lord General forward just a smidgen and see those Crusaders. The Castellan runs forward. Black Templar run over and see what they can do. Got plenty of flamers and a couple of grenade launchers in there as well. The Ceramite armour of the Black Templar. Oh, lovely bit of use of the terrain here. Get a good sighting on them. It's hard to get a good view on the battle with all these buildings going on. Not a brilliant map for casting, if I'm completely honest, but aesthetically it's very pleasing. I'll take that. Take that to the bank. Lord General not having a grand time. Even with his melee bodyguard, fighting hand-to-hand with Space Marines is never a good shout. But the sheer amount of the Death Corps and their flamers bringing their numbers down to quite low. Over on the t'other side of the map, however, a whole fleet of Reaver jet bikes causing the Screamer Zinch to fly here, there, and everywhere, really. Fire support squad are going to be absolutely shafted by the fire coming in. We're going to just go in for a doomed charge. A glorious one, nonetheless. Better to die running towards your death than running away. Now the Screamers also being stabbed by some poison blades from those mandrakes. Not quite all of them go on top of the rooftop there. Very unfortunate. Thankfully though, the scout squads sacrificed their lives. Could have been a potential squad wipe on those Screamers. But there we are. You'll also have to let me know how the volume is at the moment. What I've done is that I've turned the volume down in-game, but I've increased it on my OBS. So it sounds quiet for me, but it should be louder for you. But I can't quite tell. But the Last Stand game that I did, upon review, you could barely hear half the words I said. Which I know, a travesty. An unconscionable error on my part. But sound has always been my enemy. Sound has always been my enemy. Oh, well, we've got some wrecks. Deadly in close combat. Very tanky for a Dark Eldar unit. Some regular old Space Marines going for some war gear, grenades. Got the Assault Marines as well. So quite close combat orientated feel. These guys, Hellblade up in the air. And some Razorbacks. Always good to get a Razorback or two. One for the maneuverability. And also additional firepower they bring to bear. Grey Knight Pegasus. Haven't seen much of the Grey Knights so far in the match. They've just been chilling out and teching up. In fact, to be fair, everyone's been doing a decent job teching up at the moment. As far as I could see, everyone... Ooh, look at this beauty. Little, like, fireflies and such. You're in tier 2. And you're in tier 2 as well. Okay, everyone's having fun. Everyone's having fun. The Racks go up the mountain with the Hellblades. They don't really care much for... Well, this is hard to fandangle. Yeah, the Hellblades don't really care if you're up or over. They're in the skies, baby. They'll chase after those not Razorbacks. The Reaver jet bikes. That's what they chase after. Here's the Razorback. But it's not doing all that well. Small arms fire, but a concentrated amount against the relatively low health of a Razorback. I've got some horrors, and we've got some chosen as well. Full-blown demons. Some dusty boys. But the Pegasus are keen to strike those pink lads down. Razorback in the rafters, firing away. We've now got a Storm Chimera. Have access to a Pintle Heavy Stubber for extra DPS should they want. No love going on here. Got Venom speeding on forward from Roman 228. A jack of all trades could take on the vast majority of things. Not amazing at anything, but he's doing the job Here's the Hellblade. The Sorcerer isn't taking a fair bit of damage. Over in the base, the Rex are bringing up those fat stacks as they focus some economy. The very annoyed Sat Marine. It's quite cross, he's going to have to start repairing stuff now. Wasn't what it was hired for. It was hired for building, not repairing. And as they say, what takes many years to build up only takes a few fractured seconds to bring down. A couple of distinctive assaults going on either side. This back being forced backwards. Got a heavy weapons platoon. And I mean, this is ideal deathcore territory. It's a little fortress in the middle of the map. It's real tough for these guys to break down. Sword Breadwin, Chosen, Assault Marines, lots of jumpy units, which will cause these soldiers a bit of badness if they can get in there. Razorback low on health at the moment, but do take down the Storm Chimera. And if they were playing to play defensively, this is not the unit composition you want. You want to be going in as aggressive as you can. Here is, what's your face? Got a chaplain there. Just keep everyone nice and healthy. But yeah, getting close to these guys, it's just not on really. Locked down like Fort Knox. Here's that middle structure. Roman 228 just playing around with all the vehicles he can get access to. Got have regular old Space Marines sliced down by Mandrakes. Deceiver barreling on forward. Plenty of flamers on that dude. But ideal against other vehicles, unless of course it gets into melee combat. There we are. Mandrakes going around the side, just see what's going on. A bit of flanking, or a bit of scouting, but did not anticipate a Dreadnought with a sword. Can't think of anything more dangerous or scary than that. Now full big push on the right hand side. More fool the southern team. They think they can hold the map entirely by putting a full army here, but this team's doing exactly what they need to. Just don't bother attacking here. Go for different angles. And so the relic will be lost to the Dark Eldar. Moving the heavy weapons platoons a little bit further forward. Dreadnought is on the front lines. He's got the assault cannon. Here come the assault marines. Jumping on top and plenty more to come through. Full assault on every angle. Storming of the gates. Good lord, what a fantastic bit of cinema right here. Grenad's been forced backwards from that Deceiver with its bluish flames. F-Shaker platform doing what it can, but a piece of artillery is not ideal for fighting things at point blank range. But give it a go all the same. The soldiers are still relatively healthy morale wise. Just goes to show that it takes a while and a lot to break the spirit of the Death Guard. Not Death Guard, so that's heresy. Death Corps. Completely different faction. Yeah, that Dreadnought just absorbing all the fire. Cracking them open. Like a big old nut. The F-Shaker platform will go down. The Dark Eldar seeing what they can poke and prod. On the other side, got a Predator trundling its way through the rubble and the wreckage and the ruin. And trying to retreat and rally around the critical location. The Deceiver is down. Razor Wing jet fighter, a very powerful piece of aircraft. To be fair, the Dark Eldar's access to aircraft is quite remarkable. On a map like this, where you could just flirt overall, like I say, those right angle turns and such. A very mobile little unit right there for you. Assault Initiates jump backwards. And the Dark Angels, the Top Slave is attempting to build something. Kind of get a perk on it. Just a cheeky little prod. That's all he needs. There we go. He gets it. He won't survive, but you know, a little slave that could. Probably a book called that somewhere. Hellhound not able to go for the Devil Dog upgrade, not like the Steel Legion or anything like that. Not sure why the Dreadnought's running away from him. Coward! Turn and face him. You've got a sword, man. He's going to shoot from a distance. Fair enough. Well, the Assault Initiates are being double flamed by the Hellhound. This chap's got a heavy pencil stubber. He's able to fire backwards. Get a bit more deadly force when it's on a retreating path. A Chimera pack, which wasn't the case that you could only get Chimera packs when you got a Chimera Beast. Or did they patch that out? I haven't read the patch notes yet. I know Laughing Max has done a video on it. I've yet to listen to that neither. I kind of just got excited. Also, you know, lacking the time, really. I'm just one man doing his best. The Chimeras are munching the Predator. He goes down. I'm now gonna bite a chunk from the Chosen in the screams of those Chimeras. Mandrake's looking for a cheeky old stab. By the 9. Considering against Chaplain on a jet. Oh, not on a jet bike, just on a regular old bike. Huge AoE damage from the Razorwing jet fighter. Interceptor broken down. Deathcore Krieg and the heavy weapon platoons. Front line are the fiery tanks. Oh, but the platoons are going to be shafted. Rubbish in close combat, do barely any damage. Also a very long walk for their slow manoeuvrability, especially in the heavy cover. But the combined arms and fire, a bit of damage to those lads. And the Black Templars say, no fancy weapons for us, thank you very much. We'll kill these tanks with our bare bloody hands. You've got to respect the tenacity of that. Well, I suppose they've got power fists really, don't they? So it's not technically bare hands. Oh, just a jumping attack. This was not how the training simulators went. Heavy weapons platoons were expecting melee combat, but they were given it nonetheless. It looks like they've well and truly lost their holdings on the Sentinel, sending streams of soldiers out to die one by one. Apart from the Grey Knights here, they've got their Purifiers, they've got their Purgators, they've even got a Lord Inquisitor with plasma guns and melter guns and all that such. Just when they think the tide has turned against Southern Team, the Grey Knights, with their ridiculously expensive army, but from small seeds to great oaks grow, and the Grey Knights are no exception to that. Only a couple of squads, and those mad lads can turn a tide, especially in a team game, if they can jump on an ideal target. There's some beautiful artillery from the whirlwind of the Thousand Suns. Very accurate is the traitor whirlwind for the Blue Boys. Plenty of blue horrors in the mix. The Thousand Suns look like that there. Terramorph in the centre to their own dark desires. The Dreadnought Sword is still going on. Half health now, but that's fine. He will endure as long as his battle brothers have got him. And when one squad of Assault Initiates isn't enough, just get another one, send them forward. Grey Knights now fully replete. Terminators, this is going to suck for the Initiates, especially that one who just died there. And there's the traditional Deathcore horse who just refuses to die. He's just traumatized, bless him. I've seen Warhorse. Best bit was when he charged the German trenches, hoofed a man in the face, bayoneted him in the side, grabbed an LMG, killed a whole trench, load of Germans, before sacrificing himself by exploding several grenades in his hooves. That's definitely how the film went. Don't question me on it. Now got a Venom and a, what you called a Ravager. Struggling to get over the ridge. Submarines toe-to-toe with the Grotesques. Quite an elite army from the Dark Eldar and the Grey Knights. Our frame rate hold. I sang your praise earlier on. Cast on Garen Crow. Forth. Good stuff. The Archon only got a couple of models left. Got some Mischief and Psychic Mayhem from the Grey Knights as well. Oh, we've got some Sekatar robots over here. New for this edition of Unification. It's quite impressive considering that they only came out on the tabletop. What was it, about 3 or 4 months ago? Something like that. Could be wrong. Trench Raiders, bonker with your maces, sir. Glorious. And who really knows what's going on here? It is a complete... There used to be firing lines. There used to be a clear distinction of who was on what side, but it's just a complete and utter mosh pit over in the centre. Sword Brethren Terminators teleporting in. Lord Commander thinking about turning around and taking them on, but they teleport away just in the nick of time. Grotesque's barely a scratch on them. And inch by bloody inch, the southern team are reclaiming the central structure here. Hierarch and HMD are pulling back just a smidgen, allowing the Dark Eldar to go for this cute little tunnel, or doorway even. That's cool, I like that. Hats off to the chap and or chapette who developed this map. So much thought went into the detail here. Venerable Rubik Dreadnought getting bonked by the Purifiers. Dreadnought is sword though. Absolute hero of this match. MVP. He refuses to give up the centre till his dying breath. He even had to call an orbital bomb on him to sort him out. Fades away. But not without the respect of his kin and kith. Demon Prince Tzeentch looking for some spelly dramas. Unlike the other Demon Princes, he's not been upgraded with being given a ranged weapon. And a lot of the other Demon Princes have now got the ability to fight at range. Their little arm gun. Do you have an arm gun? Hold on. If you're wondering how to follow a unit by clicking on them, you press the hashtag. And I saw that comment. Yeah, you do have a hand cannon. Yeah, you just click on the unit and press the hashtag button. I know it's not called the hashtag, but it's called a different button, but leave me alone. Triple blasters, look at them. Well, if that ain't a giant shotgun, I don't know what is. Boom! Take that, assault initiates. That's one way to show the flank of your heavy weapons platoons. Scarab Occult Terminators and some Sword Brethren up on the side. Purifiers will see them there. Do what they can, knocked around by the whirlwind. Here, Prince taking barely any damage. Heavy weapon platoons by Kaboom there. I'm not sure if you realise that those guys aren't close combat units. They always seem to be on the front lines. Gotta respect them there. I've got Trench Raiders. Quick! Hit the Demon Prince with your standard metal mace. Corrugated iron glancing off the demonic helm and armour. Over on this side, I've got the Chimera packs been beaten back by the Sons of Lionel Johnson on their meaty motorbikes. Also got Armin the Exile just bringing forth bad nonsense. Very macabre. I'm sure that does something. I will one day learn what all his spells do, but he literally had a choice of about 16 different spells. And there's no meta for it, you just basically pick whatever you fancy. One way to counter a magic man calling all sorts of mischief is to just fucking annihilate him from orbit. Take that, nerd. You can't magic your way out of blooming annihilation from thousands of meters up in the air. That Paladin, well, that Knight Terminator, smashing everyone in his path. Venerable Assault Dreadnought doing the old spinneroonie, giving Booker T a run for his money. Non-stop action for the past what feels like an eternity, and it's not letting up anytime soon. The Paladins are here, backed up by more grotesques, Hekatari witches, but the Demon Prince of Zinch showing that even though he is king of the nerds, quite a beefy boy, but can't handle the dogs. Nibbled at round his ankles. Well, the women on the front line too, the Exorcist Sisters, relatively cheap options for the Grey Knights. Powerful range support as well. The Drukari now for Rampage, which I do believe is one of your relic units. I could be wrong there. Brings forth a lot of vehicle damage. Whirlwind is loving this game so far. Everyone being brought together in such tight-knit confines. The kill counter on his HUD must be in the triple digits by now, I reckon. We're going to have to look at the stats for this game and see how many people died just for the shenanigans. The Grenadiers are over here. War's got a commissariat, Lehman Russ. More trench raiders. Beautiful sort of psychic mischief as Araman throws down what can only be described as the booze from Mario. Piles of dead on the rift or the ridge or whatever noun you want to use here. Over on this one, what we got? No, more assault initiates. You just can't kill these Grey Knights. Once they get going, stick a bit of health regen in there. You're laughing till the cows come home. If indeed the Grey Knights have cows to come home to. Get a better look at these Sakaret robots. A little gem in there. Makes me think of, oh, you know, in Spyro when all the old dragons were, you know, covered in crystals. Well, maybe, I think it was green, but either way, it was crystals. You know what I mean? Oh, some spare money, I assume. The heavy bolter pillars go up to defend the inevitable push from the absolute chads of these Grey Knights. Oh, be still my frame rate. Oh, there's a Knight Armiger. Armiger? Armiga. Whatever you want to call him. Who knows what he's really called? Look at that. He's a flexible boy, isn't he? Mobile hips. Like the Shakira robots. Something they don't lie. But who needs hips? We've got Lucius Patton Baneblade from Deathcore Krieg. Ready to strike a powerful blow. Whirlwind not being as accurate as it was before. Grenadiers blasted apart. There we go, there's where you want your heavy weapons team. On the roofs, on the rafters. Finally getting made use of where the God Emperor intended. Araman's still at full health. Trying to plan a cunning plan. See what we can achieve. Well, the Grenadiers lost morale, which means they don't lose damage, they just refuse to go. They see a giant robot coming through the corridor and say, yes, we'll take him on. Go on, trench raiders! Again, with standard maces and clubs. Take him down. The Assault Dreadnought has seen some Marines of the Damned which is a spell that Iron Man can have. I do remember that one. They're immortal, they can't take any damage. So fighting them is a bit of a waste of time. Baneblade stuck on the side of this Knight Armiga. And the Paladins, they're in there. A bit lost, really. You kind of want them in close combat. Struggling to know what to do with themselves. Rampager, not bothering with those frontline engagements. They're inside the Dark Angel's base. Dark Eldar being really angry that they've lost the Dark in their name. What they call Drukhari now. A full-fledged force of the Dark Cousins charging on in. And they built so much defense over the middle here, they didn't bother securing their flanks. The Prince took a damn good job there. Putting their way through all the tanks and such, but they're about to lose a critical ally in this engagement. Unless they pull back completely and try and defend their ally, it's all going to go peak Tom for them. No mass, no pass, that's what they say. And with all the mass being here, it's not going to end well. One concerted effort. Dark Eldar not wanting to take part in the main assault. They were just keen and eager to fight their own war elsewhere. And the Dark Angels, one by one, are going down. The Grey Knights see an opening. Sword Brethren fighting in the honour of their fallen Dreadnought comrades. God, the Paladins are so bloody cool, aren't they? They come in, with all the scripture on their pauldrons, smash people up, and then that's it. No need to elaborate. That's what they do. Lots of Primar's Blade veterans there. We see those guys often. To be fair, you don't really see Black Templar in the late stages of the game many times anyway, do you? Well, they've been smited, and then they pass. So what an absolutely amazing game all the way through. I mean, how many... Just look at the... You can barely see the floor. You barely have a frame rate for all these corpses going on over here. Absolutely mega stuff from every single player here. Let's have a quick ganders and see how many of everyone died. I really want to see the actual raw numbers themselves. Alright then, here is the screen. So we've got our overview, we've got the military, we've got the resources, we've got the technology. Pause it if you want to look at those things, but I really care about the numbers. So actually not that many died. I was expecting it to be in the, you know, thousands, 2000s maybe, but no, just quite a modest death rate, all considered. Lord Rian losing the least amount, obviously because he was the Grey Knights and they don't tend to die, do they? But how can I summarize that game other than absolute blooming madness? Right from the get-go, just constant aggression on either sides, pushing and poking and prodding all the way forward there. So brilliant, brilliant stuff. So thank you ever so much for sending that game into the Discord. And if you want to support the channel, and if you've got a spare Dawn of War Unification replay in the Definitive Edition, please, please, please do send it into the Discord. It's what keeps the channel running, and it would be absolutely amazing. Anyway, my name's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure's always never short. I'll see you in a bit. Peace.